Hey there, it's another beautiful day. I am so sorry I am late. My husband last night surprised me with tickets to the ball game. So we went to Angel Stadium and watched the Astros beat the Angels. So it was a wonderful night. And as many of you know, I am a carnivore and I ate nachos last night and it turned me into a nasty bleh monster. So I had to recover from that a little bit, but I am here and ready. So let's watch some stuff.
Conspiracy theories that make sense. The conspiracy theory that Walt Disney froze himself has been around for a long time. Many theories centre around the fact that he cryogenically froze his head to be brought back at a later date. So why does this theory make sense? Well, it has been put forward that the film Frozen was made in order to counteract these conspiracy theories. When googling Disney Frozen, it wouldn't bring up Walt Disney being frozen, it would bring up the film. Do you think this one's possible?
Now, we talked about this a little bit before, and it makes a lot of sense. It was brought to my attention that a lot of like superstars, ultra rich people have their little public relations, lackeys going around and finding out what's being searched online and find some way to make it so that search brings up something completely different that has nothing to do with the shady, underhanded thing that particular person may have done or may not have done.
So there's a theory about places in the world that we as people are actually banned from visiting. China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, was buried deep under a pyramid over 200 years ago. He was entombed together with his 70,000 servants and workers, with their families buried alive, and archaeologists are so hesitant to enter the tomb. Also, an ancient historian accounted that the tomb may contain hidden lethal traps. And it's actually guarded by a terracotta army of soldiers. The Chinese government banned excavation to show respect for the late emperor, making it one of the most forbidden places in the world.
Well, that was a slew of misinformation because you can definitely go and visit that. And it's the terracotta army. And it wasn't 200 years ago. It was like 200 BC. And we discovered it in like the 1970s, something like that. And 70,000 people were buried there. No, they're statues. And there's like 7,000 or 8,000 of them and some horses and cavalry and like chariots and stuff like that. But yeah, they're just statues. And it was supposed to protect the emperor in his afterlife. But that was all wrong.
Here is a conspiracy theory that I could get on board with. So like dentists, yeah? Dentist adverts. So toothpaste adverts. And there's always a dentist that's like, yes, get this toothpaste, we recommend it. But I always think, why? Because the better our teeth are, the less we'll be going to the dentist. So the less money you'll make. Especially private dentists. So I've thought that for ages. But I think the same applies to skincare. Like, why would you want me to no longer have acne? Because if I don't have acne anymore, I won't need your product anymore. Every acne product I've ever used hasn't worked. And yet I still keep buying it. I think it's all a scam. I think half the skincare that is on the market, if not 3/4, if not more, all of it doesn't work. Conspiracy.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. This falls in line with like Big Pharma and the whole FDA in general, right? They don't want you to stop using their product because it makes them money. And that's the name of the game. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by today. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover, please let me know in the comments down below. If there's anything you'd like to say, please let me know in the comments down below because I respond to every single comment. Also, if you're having a good time, hit that like button for me and consider subscribing. Then come back tomorrow because I'm making a new episode every day.
This is Mr. Blobby, and believe it or not, this terrifying creature was once a beloved and very popular children's character in the UK back in the early 90s. Mr. Blobby is as popular in the UK as Barney is to the kids of America. He was originally featured on a TV show called Noel's House Party that took to the televisions of the UK in the early 90s. Mr. Blobby's popularity grew so much that they opened an entire fleet of children's theme parks in his name, sparking a nationwide surge to make the trip to the beloved character's parks. Here's where things take a dark twist. All of the parks went bankrupt after about 10 years and had to be closed down, with immediate effect. The terrifying part of all this is that they're now abandoned and considered haunted to this day. People have visited some of the parks and have even made claims to have seen a figure lurking around in a Mr. Blobby costume. Is it really him? I don't usually believe in places being haunted, but if this terrifying thing created a theme park, then it has to be haunted.
Dude, what is it with like children's characters being like creepy? Because Mr. Blobby is creepy, right? Barney has always been like little creepy to me. The Teletubbies, right? What's up with that? I don't know how factual this information was, but I do know for a fact that Blobby is creepy.
This is not a conspiracy. This is scary. So in 2018, scientists discovered a black hole 16 million light years away. They're watching it literally swallow a star. Black hole.
And where is it going?
Listen to this. What they thought they knew of black holes, well, they don't know a lot, but it's just like stuff gets sucked into it because it's just this mad force of gravitational pull that just sucks everything in.
Yeah.
This year, it was 3 years after they discovered this. This year, they looked at the same black hole and it was spitting the star back out. Like, so light and stuff was coming out of this black hole. Just like, so it was like regurgitating this star.
Just
but
recycling it.
Like broken apart though. So it's like, what's on the other side of that black hole?
It was the star was broken?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought a star was just a ball of gas.
It is.
It chewed him.
But light and stuff was coming out of it. Like, so it was like it sucked the star in with the light, like the fire, all that, whatever a star is, and it was spitting it straight back out.
Yeah, space is a terrifying thing. There's a lot of things that we think we know. You know, it's purely speculative and all kinds of science stuff behind it. But there's a lot of stuff that we have zero clue about.
A video of Michael Jackson performing a song that had never been released. The problem was Michael Jackson died in 2009. And the simulation that you're going to see is so real that people in the audience, some of them were actually offended. People in the audience could not tell that that was not the real Michael Jackson. He interacted with the other dancers, he interacted with the audience, and he looked very real. It's a beautiful example of how far this digital technology and the ability to create simulations have come. The forbidden question: is it possible that each moment of every day of our lives is actually happening inside of a simulated reality that looks and feels totally real?
Maybe.
This area is the place of the devil. Why is it being called that, and what is going on?
The abode of the devil. That is the location that native peoples of that area say you don't go in after dark. That is the area where darkness reigns, where there's devils that come out at night.
What the heck does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? Those are the legends around the Castle Crags.
So,
Spanish, when they were there, they called it the abode of the devil. It's a dark place, the dark stepbrother of the light Mount Shasta.
Now, I have the memory of a goldfish, but I'm pretty sure that yesterday we talked about Mount Shasta, how a prospector way back when found this tunnel that led into a cave and there were aliens, right? And I was all like jazzed about it. Yay, gonna go out there. And now they're saying it's demons, which is interesting because a lot of people believe that aliens are actually demons. Yeah, I think I'm still going to make that trip.
Have you all not realized yet that this is really just this? How did Skynet come into being, according to the movie script?
So there was that really cool scene in Terminator where Arnold Schwarzenegger explained how Skynet came to be. I had to cut it out because copyright stuff.
I wonder if Elon has anything to say about that.
Like, it was created as a defense system to defend against cyber attacks. Then it was asked to destroy itself. And then it concluded humanity was the enemy.
Now, we know how much the powers that be love to destroy our history. And they love to get rid of certain artifacts, the kind of things that lead us to new information and show us what's taken place in our past that they don't want us to know about. So my question is, how many times has this happened? Has AI taken over before? Has it ruined civilizations before? Interesting thoughts.
Now, I know a lot of people have made that connection between Skynet and Starlink, but I am completely out of the loop. And now that's been presented to me, it's kind of interesting, isn't it? And that is a crazy thought. Like, what if, as a species on this planet, our past civilizations had done that before? I mean, we would never know, would we?
Here's a test to tell whether you're awake or not.
whether you can control reality and if you're in the matrix or outside of it. Here's what I want you to do. All I want you to do is be aware of the cars that you see. Are you seeing colored cars, or are you just seeing black, white, and red cars? Everywhere you go, do you see just black, white, and red cars?
Absolutely not. I see all different color of cars. What about you? Do you only see black, white, and red cars? My daughter has a blue car, so.
Very few people know that the world's highest security prison is located deep in the mountains of Colorado. PX Florence is a modern-day Alcatraz that holds 490 of the world's worst human beings. Nobody has escaped it, and nobody likely will. Nobody from outside has ever seen what the place actually looks like, but it's known to have 3 different security levels. The first houses majority of the inmates, second holds Islamic extremists, and the last one, range 14, only holds 3 inmates. Who do you think they're holding there?
That actually sounds like a pretty good place to put a prison. Inside of a mountain or out in the middle of the ocean. I think I've seen that in a movie. Probably quite a few movies.
New Labour mayor calls for Israel arms embargo. Labour's new West Midlands mayor. Obviously, we had the mayoral elections the other day. Sadiq Khan got in. Well, of course he was going to get in. They weren't going to let anybody else get in, were they? He's the chairman of C40 Cities, and he's a key player in all of that stuff that I was talking about on the other page, you know? Digital ID, digital currencies, climate lockdowns, border control, 15-minute neighbourhoods, low traffic neighbourhoods. He's a key piece in getting all of that in. So there's no way anybody else was going to become mayor of London. They were going to find a way to get him in either which way. I would love to count the votes. Anyway, so the new Labour mayor, in Birmingham has said, stop selling arms to Israel. It's funny how all of this works, isn't it? You know, Britain, we're a peaceful country, and yet we've got a thriving arms industry. And if you actually dig some digging as to who we're actually selling weapons to, well, I don't know about all that. Too much said already.
Jerry Howard strikes again with another beautiful piece of information. I had never heard of this C40 and these C40 mayors. It's the World Economic Forum sticking their fingers in everybody's business. Who appointed these jokers anyway? Oh, that's right. They were self-appointed by their billions and billions of dollars.
14 cities driven by a radical left-leaning agenda aim to dramatically alter American ways within 7 years. These cities are part of the C40 Cities Climate Leadership Group, an initiative backed by billionaire Democrat Michael Bloomberg. Their far-reaching aspirations: banning meat and dairy, restricting private vehicle use, and setting limits on clothing purchases and travel, as detailed in their recent report titled The Future of Urban Consumption in a 1.5 Celsius World. Beyond environmental concerns, this seems to be a play to strip personal freedoms, including dietary choices that have existed since humanity's inception. Such aggressive changes could jeopardize our health and American values. We must stand firm against such overreaches, defending our liberties and way of life.
Now I'm willing to bet that these 14 mayors in the United States that are buying into this atrocity are diehard vegetarians, or they're getting some kind of kickback from the World Economic Forum, because you know there's tons of money in those deep pockets. But there's actually like 100 mayors around the world that are all on board with this crap.
Does your city have a goal of banning meat by 2030? 14 major American cities are part of a globalist climate organization known as the C40 Climate Leadership Group, which has an ambitious target by the year 2030 of 0 kilograms of meat consumption, 0 kilograms of dairy consumption, 3 new clothing items per year per person, and 0 private vehicles. Nearly 100 cities across the world make up C40, and its American members include Austin, Boston, Chicago, Houston, Los Angeles, Miami, New Orleans, New York City, Philadelphia, Phoenix, Portland, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., and Seattle. Ultimately, the Climate Coalition's goals are inherently anti-human. Banning meat and dairy, restricting calories, and impoverishing the masses will hurt the planet and people. More likely than not, it will do more than hurt people. It will kill people.
I didn't realize I had a clip in there that was going to say the same thing that I just said, but that's okay. She did elaborate on it quite a bit and gave us those cities, which is fantastic to know, my fellow Americans. I don't know how they're going to do that in Houston, though, because every Tuesday night at the ballpark, they have Dollar Dog Night, and Nolan Ryan's not going to like that very much. I'm not either, because I love meat. On that note, I'm going to call it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things. It's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.